Uh, all right, recording has started now.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, thanks for doing this. I really do appreciate it. The whole group does because it's like kind of taking your time out of your day and doing this. So that's cool.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask some questions about kind of what it's like working as a sheet metal worker or like within this line of work.
Okay.
And out of curiosity, the first question is, what jobs are a part of this union, or like these types of unions in general?
Okay. You're talking specifically about sheet metal. There's actually quite a few what they call building trades unions out there. And
Ah,
building trades refers to all the different skilled workers that are required to complete a structure. You heard of
mm,
electricians, plumbers, painters, carpenters, sheet metal workers are also actually a very large part of construction. The part of work
mm,
we do involves a lot of things, exterior, like metal roofs, interior items, if you see, copper hoods or copper work. But mainly our
okay.
work is what's called heating, ventilating, air conditioning, which is involves duct work and the systems that provide, air and air quality, I should say, to all the occupants inside sealed buildings.
Mm. Okay. So would you say like sheet metal work has a lot of different like subclasses of jobs, or um, are the jobs within that field kind of similar?
Actually, we actually are probably one of the most diverse trades out there. We have a lot of different facets to our specific trade, which would include service work, which would be like an electrician working with controls. You could be what's
Mm,
called a testing, adjusting, and balancing technician, which is someone who goes through and records system performances for buildings for the state of California, or the mechanical engineer. You could be an architectural worker working with sheet metal. There's quite a few different aspects to our trade.
oh, okay. That's good to know. The second question I have is, what is the general work life experience? Like, for example, on a typical day, what would you say you would do?
Well, we do start early. It's one thing about it's actually, depending on whether you like getting up early or not, but
Mm.
we do
Yeah.
start, our normal starting time is, 5 o'clock or 6 in the morning, but we're usually
Mm.
done with work at 1:30 or 2:30. So a normal
Mm.
day would be, even before getting to work would be getting up early, depending on how far
Mm.
you are from the job site or shop that you're working at. But a typical day, I mean, we do make a lot of money. So it's expected that as soon as the start time, let's say at 6 o'clock, you're actually working at 6, which means that you get to the job or to the shop at least 10, 15 minutes early, and you start working. A typical day, depending on what you're doing, is pretty much constantly moving, constantly using your hands and your mind, because there's a lot of thinking aspects to what we have to
Mm.
do as far as applied math and layout and whatnot. But I
Mm.
could say a typical day you're going to be, it depends. If you're working as a basic installer or if you're working with fabricating stuff, you're going to be working with your hands. You'll be climbing
Mm.
up and down ladders. You'll be up in lifts. Or if you're what we call a computer design detailer, you'd be in an office, sitting behind a computer. But a typical day, like I said, we start at whatever 6. We do take our break. It'd be like a 2-hour work period. Take a
Mm.
break, 2-hour work period, lunch, 2-hour work period, then you're off at 2:30.
Mm. I see. So it seems that the general work hours are a bit different from the 9 to 5 office job sort of thing.
Oh yes, definitely. Like I said, our work starts early in the morning
Mm.
and ends early in the day,
Yeah.
which is yeah, which is kind of nice because depending on where you live, you do miss all the traffic, either going to work or coming back.
Oh, that's true. That makes sense. Okay, so I guess that is a plus. Would you say that there's a general thing where hours are really flexible and sometimes you might be expected to work on weekends, or is it just strictly weekdays and nobody works on weekends? Like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah, no, good question. No, a typical work week is Monday through Friday, but
mm,
there are different shifts depending on jobs. Certain jobs you can't work on them until the evening, or it could be a graveyard shift, but that's very rare. I would say, 85% of the time you'd be working those normal hours during the week, and then sometimes you'd work on Saturdays and Sundays, but that would be by choice only. Okay, and we do get paid overtime, we get paid double time, but yeah,
Mm,
typical work week is our Monday through Friday, and anything above and beyond that would be something that would be voluntarily. If you wanted to, you could do that for, of course, the additional pay.
okay, that's good to know. Are there any internships or apprenticeships, like, training for the jobs that are usually offered? And also, does this like specific union that you're in offer things like this?
Yeah, well, definitely. We're offer a 5 year. Well, let me back it up. Let's start. So internships there are, if someone wanted to. Actually, I do believe the minimum age is 17 or 18, but you could do a summer internship and just work,
Mm,
probably more so in the office, because you wouldn't really be exposed to the actual working process. You could view it, but there's
mm,
obviously a lot of safety required. That would be something that's taught. But we do offer, we have a 5 year apprenticeship program,
mm,
which is 5 years of on-the-job training, so you're actually working and attending a minimum 30 courses. They're college credited courses, tuition free, but they are in conjunction with you working. So it's a combination of what we call earn while you learn. You're actually working, in the trade while you're going through your 5 year program.
I see. So, say if somebody who is right out of high school decided that they wanted to pursue a career in this field, it would be fairly easy for them to get started.
Yeah, well, barring COVID-19,
Oh, yeah,
building,
besides
yeah,
that.
yeah, building trades in California is going to require, I think the last projection I was made aware of was, at least 1 million more people working in what we call the building trades. And because
Mm,
of obvious retirement, we're still at that tail end of what they call the baby boomer generation that, they're
mm,
retiring. And our retirement age is 55. So people are able to stop working sooner. But if
mm,
someone were to, let's say, barring again COVID-19, you could apply online and
mm,
go through a series of testing. Or there are some tests, aptitude testing through the college, and then also a basic math pre-algebra class. But yeah,
mm,
she could right out of high school. Minimum age is 18
mm.
and or 17 with as long as you finished high school or equivalency of high school.
Oh,
Yeah.
so if I was just gonna say if someone got a GED or something, would that
Yes.
also work? Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
So certificate of proficiency, official, let's say transcripts, because we have a lot of people who don't have, let's say, specifically a high school
Mm,
diploma. But as
yeah.
long as something that shows that you have completed K through 12 education, that's the minimum educational requirements. And that was put up actually by the state. We're registered with the state as an apprenticeship program.
Okay. That's really good to know. Um, so would you say there are any major risks that come with this job or the jobs in this field?
Yes, you know what? Working in any job that involves working with machinery, working off of lifts and ladders,
Mm,
there are hazards, but there are, how would I put it, with OSHA, which is the Occupational Safety and Health Institute Trust, which is a national and state, there are
mm,
strict safety requirements as far as preventing accidents. And the only time accidents usually happen is when someone is not observing what's required as far as what we call the PPE or personal protective equipment
mm,
and the proper procedures. And that is part of training too. They do like a
mm,
minimum 30 hours of occupational safety training. And that's actually for all the trades. But yes, no,
mm,
best way I could sum it up is there's a difference between you can do a hazardous job safely or unsafely. It's still a
mm,
hazardous job, but if you approach it correctly, then it's not going to be something that would, say, possibly cause injury.
mm. Okay, that's good to know. How long would you say people usually stay in this career? Like if someone were to join in like at like 20, how long would they usually work?
Well, okay, so you can retire. We have multiple pension plans and retirement plans and investment plans, but
Mm,
it's a minimum 25 years. to be able to retire, and then you could retire at 55. I've actually been in for 42 years. I
Oh,
stopped
wow.
actively working out in the field about 10 years ago and took a full-time
Mm.
position with the training center.
Oh,
Work.
I see. Okay. Like you'd say a lot of people work like a few decades or so, or they stay.
Yes, definitely. They work, let's say, I would say probably at least 25 years, or
Wow.
if not more. And there's people who actually stay longer because they like it. So,
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. That's good to hear. And say what general interest or like say if somebody who's normally interested in math or who's interested in some other subject, like what types of people would maybe interested in this job?
You know what? I would, a pat answer would be if you were mechanically inclined, but um, it is a hands-on trade. If
Mm,
you like math, applied math, we use geometric construction, trigonometry. We have our own special calculator set up with all what we use, and also let's say the basic sheet metal worker. From there, you can branch out. If you're into computer-aided design, 3D building modeling, drawing, Revit, any of those programs, which in high school, I liked mechanical drawing, which was still done back in the day with the drafting board and drafting equipment.
mm,
But I like math and I like drafting, and that I actually went to a couple of years of college, completed 2 years with the intent of becoming an architect. And obviously, the going to school during the day, having to work at night to pay tuition and whatnot, kind of
mm,
wore me down a bit. So I got into the trade, and I thought it was something just I'd give a try. And 42 years later, I'm still here. But
mm. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else do I have? Is there anything else that you think is important for someone who is interested in this career, like for them to know what? So, like anything else that I haven't asked about yet?
um, you know what I mean? Advice-wise, I mean, I don't. I would say that if you're looking for something that you want to find challenging, because it's definitely something with opportunities. You will get out of it what you put in. I've been
Mm,
going to school nonstop. Besides, I did go back to college and finish my degree, but as
mm,
far as like related to the career of sheet metal, I've been going to school. In fact, the last class I took was just prior to the COVID-19 because we offer all the elective, again, tuition-free college courses that would, let's say, gain you more knowledge and skills to advance to a higher paid position. But my advice to someone, say, or what I think about this career is that if you like working with your hands and a combination of hand skills, reasoning, mechanical aptitude, and some applied math and computers, technology has really made an impact on all the trades. It
mm,
definitely would be something, to think about doing if you're not interested in, or I'm not just saying not interested, but let's say if college is not what you choose to do,
mm.
not just in only go to college or go out and get a job that, hopefully you'll make decent money. It's another career opportunity. It's another form of a 4-year degree, if you want to call it.
I see. So you did mention so things like working with computers, right? And from the general consensus of people that I know is that you kind of have to go to college to learn enough about computers and get a meaningful job with it. Do the people who work with computers in this field of work have to get a college degree, or is the training that they undergo here
Oh,
considered sufficient?
oh no, our training is it's 5 years. It's pretty intensive training for people to make a lot of
True.
money. It includes what I call, say, it's a basic foothill career path. We have one basic, what they call just an introduction. We're using Revit now, the 3D drawing. But from there, that's the only required course. And then we offer additional courses, which are electives. You can choose to take on your own. So if you were interested in developing additional skills, let's say designing on a computer for what we do, there's opportunities to keep going with the classes. Because I personally, I said I went through one career path and then I started training, and I went through 3 different types of training to achieve a point where I was able to say work nonstop for 42 years without ever missing any time. So,
I see. Yeah, okay. That's good to know because the because our target audience for these interviews is basically fellow students at my high school, and I think a lot of people are, since it's a very techie STEM sort of environment, I don't
Yeah,
think a lot of people are used to working with their hands. And of course, I could be wrong about that. I don't know that many people, but that's just a general attitude I got from the school that I go to.
yeah.
So would you say if someone like saw this and considered trying out this type of job, would you say it would be fairly easy for them to learn how to start working with their hands on a regular basis? Like, what would the transition be like?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, basically our apprenticeship and all the union building trades apprenticeship programs are set up that you enter it without any prior experience. So the
Ah,
training will be all throughout your time given in classes through, lecture labs and also in the shop. But back to your question about the techie, which I kind of understand. I mean, I would suggest now if you have some computer skills as far as drawing or designing. So what
mm,
that does is, you always have to start somewhere. So with us, even though we have like what we call, your basic apprentice, and you're going to be making, $27 an hour to start with all the benefits, and
mm,
every 6 months after that, you're going to get a $3.20 an hour raise. But
mm,
if you have those skills as you go through, you still have to learn about our trade. And then there's opportunities. Let's say if you have skills, you develop those for designing on the computer. That's something through your work that if they like you, if they like your diligence, your approach to work and whatnot, then they, might move you into the office or ask you if you would be interested in, working on the design aspect of it. So, like I said, it's something that you start at the very basic as an apprentice, and then from
mm,
there, as you work through at your different shops, it's going to be up to you to communicate, and basically, I would say lead by example. Let the person that you're working for the shop and let them know what your interests are and your dedication. And like anything else, it just provides more opportunities. So we have apprentices who started off as first year apprentices, and by the second year, and instead of working out in the field now or in the shop or doing whatever, they're working at the computer all day. So
ah, I see. So there are a lot of opportunities and it's like newcomer friendly,
yes,
essentially.
exactly.
That's good. That's good to hear. You did mention something about pay before. If you're able to disclose, would you say that the general pay would be enough to like support one person?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I was teaching a math class at McClymonds High School in Oakland. It was called a trades math preparation class. But
Mm,
one of the things I did was with the class, you do a quick breakdown of what you would need to earn in a week, let's say by
mm,
yourself to have a good, what we call quality of life, let's say
mm,
be able to rent your own place,
mm,
have a decent car payment, obviously gotta have that phone bill in there. And by the time we
mm,
were done, it came out to say you would have to make at least $30 an hour.
mm.
Uh, for our pay rate, like I said, as an apprentice, yeah, it's going to be for the first year. You stay at $27 an hour. It's actually about 55, including all the benefits. But you actually see 27 only on your check. The rest is
Mm,
paid on your behalf by your employer. But
mm.
yeah, definitely by let's say journeyman status right now. Currently, it's about $65 an hour with all the investment, pensions, 401ks, and health and
Mm.
medical, dental, and it comes out to about 110 something an hour. So it's
Wow.
definitely something that you could make a decent living off
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, because I figured some people would probably be curious to know what the pay would be.
of.
Yeah. Okay, I think those were all the questions I had.
Okay.
Unless there's anything else you want to say, then I think I'm gonna end the interview. Yeah.
No, like I said, there's a lot of opportunities out there.
Mm.
Sometimes you're not really aware of them.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, myself in the high school, I said no one ever talked about apprenticeship programs. It was all
Yeah.
college preparatory courses we took in high school, and just generally just right from high school directly into college. And
Yeah.
this is like I said, just it's an option. It's something to think about. So,
Mm. Yeah, I know that people are starting to kind of mention trades more nowadays, it seems,
yeah,
but there's still a huge like, oh, most people should be going to college because they don't want to do trades or they're like don't know much about trades, so they feel afraid of them or they
yeah,
don't feel like it's worth trying to go into them. And I see that at my high school as well. So that's kind of actually why my groups formed this
Yeah.
this whole thing, to learn, teach students more about these things, and so maybe they'd be willing to give them a try.
Yeah, that's what I do now. One of my main lists, I used to work on curriculum at the college, and now my full-time position with our training industry, barrier industry training, is what to talk about outreach. So I actually do presentations for all the school districts, the high schools, and I do them for the Veterans Department, California Department of Rehabilitation, for social services agencies. But it's like time to get the message out, and that's something that it's actually become easier virtually to do it.
Yeah,
Because yeah, then you can basically like making videos for
yeah.
virtual career fairs for the high school. So I've done quite a few of those. Like kind of like we're doing the recorded interview. I just do a recording of and share a screen with some videos and slides. But definitely it's something to think about. And like I say, just so there's options out there. It's not just a either or situation.
Yeah.
We do have a website that there's a
Ah,
contact on there. Yeah, we have
okay, yeah.
yeah, the training website is SMW, so Sam, Mary, William, with sheet
Mm.
metal workers, the acronym. So SMW 104 training.org. So,
Okay.
yeah, and on there
Yeah.
is just a whole lot of information about our training program, our industry. And also, when you look at the second ribbon down below the very top, there's a contact button. And also the application is online too. So you can do the online application, and they will create a profile with you on our training database, and you get registered with the state and the Department of Labor. And then once you have access to our training site, you would do your first test online. So, but yes,
Okay.
FMW 104 training. If they go to that training website, if they go to that contact button, and if they have a question, then they can go ahead and ask that question right there, and they're really good at answering back on questions.
Yeah, that
So,
makes sense. Okay, I'll put the website on there then.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And then, that would be a good way for them to get a lot more information. Because I mean, I've only given you like the tip of the iceberg as far as
Mm.
some of the other things in there, but there's quite a bit. You can spend probably a good hour navigating through the site and checking
Mm.
everything out.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your time again.
Okay,
We all really appreciate it.
no problem.
Yeah. All right. Then I'm gonna end the interview and the recording now.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you very much. Have a good
Yeah.
day.
You too.
Okay,
All right. Bye.
bye-bye.